Welcome back, students. So in this lecture we're doing force topic, means we will knowing the force on a moving charge or force on a conductor. Okay, previous topic you learned the magnetic field. Okay, magnetic field produced by different type of objects. Okay, so in this topic we're learning first topic is what magnetic force on a moving charge in uniform magnetic field. Okay, you have a charge particle and it's moving through a magnetic field. Okay, then what is the force experienced by this? And so look here, suppose the magnetic field is there, this is a magnetic field I am representing here. Cross means magnetic field is into the board, right? Yes, perpendicular to the board and into the board. Okay, so this is a magnetic field. Okay, and some charge is moving through this, say is a positive charge or negative charge entering this magnetic field, correct? Yes. Then what is the magnetic force experienced by this charged particle? Okay, so magnetic force is given by this formula. Fm I am writing, magnetic force is called Q V cross B in vector form. Okay, or in scalar form you can write magnitude Fm is equal to Q V B sine theta. This is the magnetic force experienced by a charged particle moving through a magnetic field, correct? No? So watch carefully. In vector form you see it's a cross product of velocity and what magnetic field, and scalar form, so this Q will be sine theta, so sine theta, so theta is what? Angle between what? Velocity direction and a magnetic field, right? Correct? Yes. Okay, let's talk small thing about this force. So first I tell you when this magnetic force becomes zero. So I am writing here, this magnetic force will be zero. Under what condition this force becomes zero? Look at first case. If first velocity is what? Zero. It means if you put a charge inside a magnetic field and at rest, it's not moving, then magnetic force is what? Zero. And this thing does not happen when electric force. Electric force, you put a charge even at rest, it will experience the electric force, correct? But that is not happening in what? Magnetic force. Look, remember, I will talk later, but electric force formula is what? Q into E. If you put a charge Q inside electric field, then electric force experience is called what? Q into E. So here you don't need velocity. Even if you put a charge at rest, it will experience some force, correct? Okay. But inside a magnetic field, you need what? Velocity. If there is no velocity, it will not experience any force. So means what? Charge at rest. Okay, if charge is at rest means it will not experience any magnetic force. F will be zero. See other things. Let's talk about this one. Angle. If theta is 0 degree or 180 degree means charge moving, you say charge moving parallel or anti-parallel to field, then it will also experience no force, correct? No? Okay, then you can say neutral particle. Okay, means Q is 0 means what? Neutral particle. Like I say, a neutron is moving through some magnetic field, then it will not deflect, it will not experience any force because charge 0 means no force. Okay, yes. Or what else? Okay, so these are some points. Also you can say magnetic field also 0, like somewhere if magnetic field becomes 0, then force also what? 0, right? Okay, these are some points when the magnetic force will be 0 on a particle, correct? No? Yes. Now listen carefully. This is a general formula. Okay, let me talk first this question that how to find direction of the magnetic force. Okay, so I am writing here direction of magnetic force, correct? No? On charge. How you telling direction? Okay, two ways you can tell, one directly vector rules or what? Hand rule also we have. So let's talk about vector rule first. Vector rule. So vector rule means is in front of you. F vector is equal to what? Q V cross B. It's a cross product of what? Velocity and magnetic field. So you put the direction of velocity, you put direction of magnetic field and take their cross product, that will give direction of the force. Be careful. Suppose positive charge, then no problem. If it's a negative charge, then you put an extra negative here. Suppose I'm writing here hint for negative charge. Okay, this is for positive charge. Then what you will do, you have to put like minus Q, one extra minus you put outside, then you write V cross B. Okay, yes. For example, let's see direction of force here. Here magnetic field is given into the board and this particle is positive particle moving straight upward. So velocity direction is what? Upward. we have to find in which direction this particle will deflect, means direction of force you want to know. So look here, for this case, F vector is equal to, this formula I am writing, Q is a positive charge, no problem, just write V. What is velocity direction? Straight upward. Upward is called what? I direction, right? Sorry, I wrote opposite, J direction, okay? Straight moving upward, J direction. I can write here coordinate X, Y and what? Z, correct? So particle is moving straight upward, means in Y direction, that's why I wrote J cross. Magnetic field is what? Into the board, means what? Minus K direction, correct? Na? Yes. So we know that J cross K is called what? I, and there's one minus here, so the answer becomes minus I. For this case, minus I means force will be what? In this direction. The particle will deflect towards the left, correct? Okay. So this is one rule, what? Vector rule. Directly, you know direction of velocity, you know direction of magnetic field, then you can take the cross product, that gives direction of the force. Then hand rule also we have, okay? And I told you it's negative charge. Suppose this was an electron, okay? Negative charge, then you put a minus extra outside here, okay? Yes, one minus sign. Hand rule is what? It's called right hand rule, okay? Right hand rule. So in right hand rule, what do you do? This is the right hand, you spread these two fingers and thumbs perpendicular to what? Each other, okay? Yes, these three fingers perpendicular to each other. Then what it will show? Thumb shows direction of the velocity, correct? Thumb shows what? Direction of the velocity. This forefinger, or you call it index finger, this shows direction of the field, correct? Then your middle finger will show you what? Direction of the force. So it's a simple rule, but right hand is for what? Keep in mind, positive charge, correct? Na? Yes. Suppose it's a positive charge. You want to write the hand rule here, then how it looks? Look here. Velocity upward, thumb upward. Field inward. So force is what? Towards the left direction. Thumb showing the velocity upward, field is into the board. So this finger shows field. So this finger shows what? Force, that's towards what? Left. What I'm saying, this is for positive charge. By chance they use negative charge, then whatever answer you're getting by hand rule, opposite of that will be your answer. Suppose this is an electron and you're getting force on, by hand rule getting force on that direction. So answer is what? Opposite of this, because this rule is for what? Positive charge. Or if you confuse, then what you can write? If negative charge means what? You can write left hand rule also. Left hand rule. There is no rule, but you can use left hand. This is for what? Negative charge. Meaning remains same. So negative charge given, you can use this hand also. All meaning remains same. Thumb shows what? Your velocity. This finger shows your field, and this finger shows what? Your force. So remember that right hand writing then means for positive charge. Either you get answer opposite of this, or you can write what? Left hand rule if it's a negative charge. Okay. B is important here. I give an example here with help of negative charge. Suppose this is field given. Dot dot field given is field is what? Outward. Okay. So this is your magnetic field. These are direction X, Y and Z. This is a magnetic field, okay? Correct. And some charge is suppose moving this direction and it's a negative charge. I am saying electron is moving in this direction initially. We want to know in which direction this electron will deflect. What is the direction of the force? Okay, first write vector rule. Let's understand vector rule. We write F is equal to what? Q V cross B. So what you will do is a negative, so put a minus sign outside. Q is what? Negative. What is direction of velocity? This particle moving this direction means what? X direction means what? I direction. Correct. What is direction of magnetic field? Magnetic field is dot, means outward. Correct. Outward means what? K direction, right? So we know that I cross K is called what? Minus J. You remember the cycle for multiplication? I J K. Okay. So we need what here? I cross K means answer is what? Minus J, and one minus already given here. So answer of this become what? Plus J. Plus J means this electron will deflect upward. That's what your plus J direction, right? So this is the direction of the force. Now same you want to answer using hand rule. So positive charge right hand, negative charge left hand, right? Let's adjust. Thumb shows velocity, correct na? Okay, I have to come on this side. So velocity is what? Watch carefully now. Yes, velocity is towards what? Left. Okay, velocity. Magnetic field is what? Outward. magnetic field, this finger shows magnetic field outward, this thumb showing velocity towards the left. So this finger, middle finger shows force, that's what your upward, right? So upward force only we calculated by vector rule also, right? So both ways you can find the direction of field. Vector rule is always easy. Okay. Now, so I have discussed that when charge is moving through a magnetic field, what is the force formula? Okay, how to find directions, and when force coming what? 0. Now look here, something called Lorentz force, Lorentz law or Lorentz force something. Lorentz force means charge is moving through a magnetic and electric, both fields are there. Then what is the net force experienced by? That's called what? Lorentz force. So only magnetic I did. Now electric and magnetic field both together. So Lorentz force gives you what? Net force on a charge when is moving through what? Both what? Electric and magnetic field. Correct na? So now charge is moving through what? Both electric and magnetic field. Then what is the net force? That's called what? Lorentz force or Lorentz law. So net force will be obviously what? Two force will acting, electric force plus what? Magnetic force. Correct? Electric force is called Q into E, right? Charge. And magnetic force we have learned just now, Q V cross B. Correct? So this is what called your Lorentz equation or Lorentz force, right? If you see here, you can take this common also. You can also write like Q, you take common, then E cross plus V cross what? B. This way also you can write. This is called Lorentz equation. Okay, net force when a charge is moving through electric and what? Magnetic field together, right? Both fields are acting and charge is moving through them. Then what is the net force? Correct? This is very important. Listen here. If somewhere electric force is equal to magnetic force, it means what? Q is equal to what? QVB, right? Then Q get cancelled. You can find velocity of that particle. That's called electric field by what? Magnetic field. This is an important thing. Okay. If you take the ratio of electric to magnetic field, it gives the velocity of that particle. Suppose you talk about light, photons, correct na? Then ratio of electric field to magnetic field gives the speed of the light. Okay. Yes. So in first chapter UDM they asked dimension about this question. Dimension question, that what is the dimension of electric by magnetic field is simply velocity. So dimension of electric and magnetic become L power 1 T power minus 1, simply velocity, right? Okay. Then what other, a lot of questions has been asked in our exam about this point. Look here. They said that a charge is moving through electric and magnetic both field, right? And they said we want to move this charge in a straight line, because what happens? Okay, before that, look here. What's the main thing? What's the main difference between your magnetic and electric field? Okay, main difference I'm telling. Your magnetic field, okay, magnetic field, or you say force, whatever, this cannot accelerate charge. Cannot accelerate what? Charge. Magnetic field cannot accelerate charge. So charge moves at what? At constant speed. It can change velocity because direction can change, we will see in next topic. But magnetic field cannot accelerate charge particle, keep in mind. So inside a magnetic field, charge moves always at a constant speed. But electric field, what they do? They accelerate your charge. They can accelerate or what? Deaccelerate also. They can increase the speed or they can decrease the speed of the particle, right? So they can accelerate or deaccelerate charge. So they can okay, change what? Speed. Speed they can change. Who can change? Electric field, or you say electric force, right? That's very important. One question was asked many times in our exam, that some charge particle is moving through electric and magnetic field, and we want to move this charge in a straight line, then what conditions should be applied? Okay, so I'm writing here. Look here. If you want to move charge, I'm writing charge moving through both electric and magnetic field. One charge is moving through what? Both electric and magnetic field, and you want to move in a straight line, then you have two possibilities, and is moving in a straight line. So when a charge moves in a straight line, when both electric and magnetic field are there, two possibilities you have. What is possibility number 1? If all electric, magnetic and velocity are perpendicular to each other. If these three things, what? Electric field, magnetic field and the velocity of that charged particle all are perpendicular toward each other, in that condition charge will move in a straight line. Okay, yes, all electric field, magnetic field, like suppose electric field in x direction, magnetic field in y direction, right, and the charge is moving again perpendicular to them, means in what, z direction, then what will happen? It moves in a straight line. Here what will happen? It moves at a constant speed. In this case it will what? A constant speed. Keep in mind, speed will not change in this case. Second case is what? If all electric, magnetic and velocity are in same direction, they are parallel to each other, all are in what? Same direction, then also what? Then they will move in a straight line. Here speed will change, speed can change, okay, in this case. Listen carefully. What is the question? A charge is moving through electric and magnetic field and it's moving in a straight line, it's not deflecting. It's not deflecting, moving in a straight line, then what? There are two possibilities for this, okay? Either all are perpendicular to each other, electric field, magnetic field and velocity are perpendicular to each other, then charge will move in a straight line. Best example of this is what? Like our light, photon, right now. Electric field, magnetic field are perpendicular always and photon goes again perpendicular to both of them, right? Yes. Our other possibility is what? All electric field, magnetic field and velocity are what? Parallel to each other, okay? Then also it moves in a straight line, but in this case speed can change. How it can change? Look here. Suppose this is a direction of electric field. This is a direction of what? Your magnetic field also. Now listen. Suppose this is direction of electric field, correct now? Then its meaning of this, there should be some positive charge, here should be some what? Negative charge. Electric field start from positive and goes to negative, right? Yes. Now you fire or you put some charge here in this, I suppose some charge plus q is moving in this direction. You fire in this direction with velocity v, correct? It moves in a straight line, and what happened to speed? Look, watch carefully. It will, magnetic force, let's talk about magnetic force. It will not experience magnetic force. Why? Because moving parallel or anti-parallel, then magnetic force becomes what? 0. Sin theta is 0 or 180, magnetic force is directly 0. So no magnetic force act. Now talk about electric force. Electric force is acting? Yes, acting. And where speed is increasing or decreasing? Look here. Charge, positive charge moving in direction of field, its speed will increase. Why increase? Just look, watch carefully. This suppose electric field means this positive charge here, negative charge here. This negative charge, this positive charge. So this will attraction here, right? Yes. Negative charge will attract this positive charge. So speed will be what? Increased here. Correct? So if you fire an positive charge in this direction, then speed will be increased. Suppose a negative charge, then repulsion will happen. Speed will what? Decrease. Correct. So electric field can increase or decrease your speed, can accelerate your charge, right? But not magnetic field. Okay. So charge want to move in a straight line in electric and magnetic both field, then you have two possibilities, either all are perpendicular to each other or all are what? Parallel toward each other, right? Okay. Now we'll talk that how a charge moves through a magnetic field. How many possibilities we have, what type of path it follows, straight line, some circle or some curvature, what? So that we're learning now. Okay, so now we're learning that when a charge is moving through a uniform magnetic field, how it moves, what path it will trace, okay? Okay, so once more, magnetic force you understood Q, V, B and sin theta. So its motion mainly depends on the angle, okay? Okay, look here, first case, if theta is equal to 0 degree or what? 180 degree, right? What's the meaning of this? Charge is moving either parallel or anti-parallel, right, to magnetic field. So theta is suppose 0 degree, theta is angle between what? Velocity and magnetic field, right? So charge is moving either parallel or anti-parallel to your magnetic field, correct? Obviously you see the force becomes what? 0, so the charge will not experience any what? Force, correct now? Correct? Yes, charge will not experience any magnetic force. Not experience any magnetic force means what? Charge moves in a straight line path, correct na? because no magnetic force acting, sorry. So whatever charge enter in direction, same directions keep moving in a straight line, right? So they ask that when charge moving at this angle, what is the path traced? What is the answer? Straight line. Okay, simplest case. Okay, let's move to second case. If theta is equal to what? 90 degree. This is the most important. Okay, it means what? Charge moving perpendicular to what? Your magnetic field. Correct. Charge is moving what? Perpendicular to magnetic field. We call it transverse magnetic field also. Okay, charge moving transverse to what? Magnetic field, right? Then what happens? Then you see that, look at this formula. Sin 90 means your force becomes what? Maximum. Then force explained by the charged particle is called QVB, which is the maximum force. Correct, na? Then what happens? Under this condition, what happens? Your charge start moving in a circular path. Okay, charge start moving in a circular path. Charge start moving in a circular path. Charge start rotating in a circle. Okay, and why this is happening? That why charge is moving in a circular path? We can understand with the help of example. Suppose this is a magnetic field. Okay, let's say dot 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 magnetic field. Magnetic field is what? Outward. Okay, yes, and some charge entering here. Let's say this is charge. Okay, which charge? Any charge. Let's say positive charge enter here. Correct, na? This is the direction of velocity. Correct. Charge entering in magnetic field perpendicular. Okay, magnetic field is what? Outward. Charge is moving on the board only, so it's perpendicular. So what is the direction of force acting on this charge? Okay, so we can use positive charge means you can use your right hand. So this hand roll only. Magnetic field is outward, velocity is towards me. Okay, watch carefully. Okay, let me come on this side. So okay, magnetic field is what? Outward. This finger shows magnetic field. Velocity is towards what? Left and right, and field is what? Force will be what? Downward. Okay, so look here, let me draw it little here. So charge entering here, positive charge. Correct. So force acting on this will be downward. It will get like turn like this way. Again, every time you calculate here, na, force comes like always like inward to inward, trying to rotate this charge in a circle like this way. So you start rotating a circle of what? A radius what? R. Correct. Due to the inward force, always keep bending and start rotating in a circle. Correct. So when charge moving perpendicular to magnetic field, it explains maximum force. The charge start moving in a circular path. Very, very important. So here we have some numerical things. We want to calculate then what is the radius of this path, what is the velocity, and these things, time period, these things you want to know. Okay. So first we want to know radius of the path. Okay. Radius of circular path. What should be radius? Now listen here. Now here two forces are acting. What two force? One is magnetic force, and somebody started moving in a circle means you get what? Centripetal force also, right? So whenever somebody moving in a circular path or in a circle, you have a centripetal force, right? So these two forces are what? Balancing each other. What? Magnetic force is equal to what? Centripetal force. Correct. Magnetic force is what? QVB. Centripetal force is called mv square by r, right? Okay, so let's calculate radius. So you see radius becomes what? 1v get cancelled. It's coming mv upon what? qb. This is the radius of that circular path. If you know the velocity of that charged particle, then mass already we know. Mass, charge, look here, mass, charge, magnetic field, these are all are known to us. Okay, constant. So you need to know only velocity to find the radius of the path. Or you know radius of path, you know, you can find the velocity, right? Okay, so generally in exam what happens, they ask comparison question. They will compare two particles, two charged particles, like one is alpha particle, one is proton moving, and they say that if they are moving at same velocity, then find the ratio of the radius. So velocity is same, then radius depends on mass and q only, right? Mass and charge only, right? And we know the mass of charge, right? So this formula they can write in some other format that I am writing here. Look at mass into velocity also called momentum, so you can also write p upon what? qb. This is a momentum format. Let's say two particles are moving, their momentum is constant, their velocity is constant. Okay, or momentum also you can write in terms of kinetic energy. How? You know that momentum is, okay, momentum is what? Root 2 mv, right? This relation I discussed many times. I am not writing how this comes. Momentum is equal to root 2 m into e. This is a kinetic energy by what? qb. Or this you can write in terms of potential also. because kinetic energy is what? Potential energy, right? Potential energy is what? Charge into potential. So when you do it here, instead of E, you putting what? You putting Q into what? V, charge into potential, right? Okay, so one charge here get cancelled. So you can simply write 1 by B root 2 m V naught, that's potential, by what? Q. So for format you have this formulas of radius of the circular path. This is in terms of velocity, let me write here. This is in terms of velocity. This formula in terms of momentum. This in terms of kinetic energy, and this in terms of what? Potential. Correct. All format they have asked in our exam. Very important question. Always they ask what? Comparison question. Means they will compare two particles. They said one is alpha particle, one is proton, neutron, something. They are moving through some magnetic field. If they say if they have same velocity, find the ratio of the radius, then depends mass and charge. If they have same momentum, find the ratio of the radius, then depends only on charge. If they have same kinetic energy, then depends root m by q. If they accelerated by same potential difference, this is most important question, then depends on root m by root q, right? No? Yes. So anything can be given same, or radius given same. They ask what's the ratio of velocity, what's the ratio of momentum, ratio of kinetic energy. Means these are the all format which they have asked, and it's very important from exam point of view. Okay. Yes. So this is what your radius of your circular path. And what other things you want to calculate? How much time it will take to rotate? Okay. Time period. Time period you want to calculate. We know time is what? Distance by speed. Distance in circular path is 2 pi r, correct? Okay, 2 pi r, and speed with speed. So speed here we can write from this formula. I can put the speed value. How? Rearrange this formula. When we get cancelled, so this r goes here, q b r by m. So 2 pi r. Okay. You can replace anything. You can replace r also, or you can replace v. Any one thing you have to replace. R is easy because r I wrote here. So look here. 2 pi m v upon v into q b, right? We get cancelled. So this is your time period formula. Very simple. 2 pi m upon what? q b. So if you watch carefully in this formula, everything is constant. 2 pi constant, mass of that particle constant, charge constant, magnetic field also constant. It means time period is always constant. There are two variables only we have when a charge is moving through magnetic field. What? Let me say again. When a charge is moving through a magnetic field, there are two variables. What? Velocity and radius. That's all. Velocity and radius will change, but you see in this formula, radius and velocity both are not there. So time period is always what? Constant. What's the meaning of this? Your charge moves in a small circle or a big circle with different velocities. The time period of rotation will not change. Okay? It's moving in a small radius, a circle of small radius, or very big radius. Time period will be exactly same. Okay, so this question was asked in our exam also, in theory and numerical also. So time period does not depend upon what? Velocity and radius, keep in mind. Okay, yes, these two factors are not coming in this formula. This is time period 2 pi m upon qb. Okay, yes, time period of the rotations. So if you know time period, you can write frequency also. So frequency is just opposite of time, 1 by t, or opposite of this formula, qb upon 2 pi m. Yes, done. This is also constant. This also does not depends on same thing. Okay. Yes. You can write angular frequency also. Correct. Angular frequency means omega is what? 2 pi nu. Correct. Yes. So this is nu. You multiply them, you get just qb upon what? M. This is also constant. This also does not depends upon radius and velocity. So time period frequency and angular frequency or angular velocity, we call it, does not depends upon what? Your radius and velocity. They are always constant. Okay. One more thing they can ask is what? Kinetic energy of the particle. Okay. Some particle is moving through a magnetic field. Then they ask you what is kinetic energy. So kinetic energy is what? Look here. Kinetic energy means what? Half mv square, right? Okay. So put velocity value from this equation. Velocity is what? qbr by m. So this formula look like this one: q square b square radius square by m. This is what your kinetic energy. And if they ask maximum kinetic energy, so you know q, b and m all are constant. There is only one variable, what? Radius. So when radius is maximum, your kinetic energy will be maximum. And this is the principle of your cyclotron. We will learn in next topic. Okay. Yes. So these are the small numerical. This is most important in many format: velocity format, momentum format, kinetic energy, and what? Potential format. Okay. Yes. Okay. So we were talking that how a charge move in a magnetic field. Two possibilities already have done. Charge moving parallel, anti-parallel, it will not experience any force. Just keep moving in a straight line. Charge moving perpendicular, it experiences maximum force. It moves in a circular path, and the numerical part of a circular path we have done here. Okay. Then we're going to now third possibilities. Okay. Yes. Third case, what happens? Okay. Charge is moving, but the angle is what? Not equal to what? 0 degree, 180 degree, and 90 degree. Leaving these three angles, if charge moves at any other angle, then what happens? Okay. Three angles already covered: 0, 180, and 90. So charge is moving to the magnetic field, and the angle is not these three angles. N is angle with magnetic field is what? Leaving these three angle, any other angle like 60 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 10 degree, 5 degree, right now, or like 130, 150, doesn't matter. Leaving these three angles, any other angle is there, then what happens? Suppose I say like this is your magnetic field, and some charge is moving here right now. So this is some charge entering like this. This is the velocity of charge. So this angle theta with what? Magnetic field. Okay, watch carefully, or let me represent like, okay, it's okay only, doesn't matter. So what I'm saying, some charge is moving at some angle theta, and the theta is not equal to what? 0, 180, and 90, means not parallel, anti-parallel, and perpendicular at some angle to magnetic field, leaving these three angles. So this is velocity. So what I do, I break this into two components. This component is called V cos theta component, then this component is called V sin theta component. One component will be parallel to the magnetic field, one component will be perpendicular. Okay. So actually this direction, like this arrow is to outward. Okay, I cannot show on board here. Magnetic field outward, this component outward, and this component is one board only, perpendicular to the magnetic field. So watch carefully. So look here, this component V cos theta. What is this? This is the component of velocity parallel toward your magnetic field. This is the component of velocity which is parallel to magnetic field, right? So charge was moving at some angle. I have broken into two components. One component becomes parallel to magnetic field, one becomes perpendicular to magnetic field. So V cos theta is a component of the velocity which is parallel to magnetic field. Parallel means what? This case. So what this component will do? This component will not make any force on this component. There is no force acting. So this component will make your charge to go forward in a straight line forward, right? This will make charge to move in a straight line, right? Correct. This component of velocity will try to make charge in a straight line, keep moving forward, right? Correct. Then Y sin theta, look here. This component what will do? This component is what? Perpendicular to what? Your magnetic field. So this is a component of velocity perpendicular toward your magnetic field. So this component is perpendicular means what? This case, right? So this velocity component is perpendicular to magnetic field. It will try to rotate your charge in a circle, because 90 degree perpendicular means this happens. Okay, so this will rotate charge in a circle. This will try to make your charge to move in a circular path, correct? So two components we have. One component is making to charge go straight forward, that case, and second case is your velocity is perpendicular to magnetic field. So this component is trying to make charge rotate in a circle, this case. So both case now work together actually. Okay. So what happening? So combined effect, what will happen? So combined effect, look here. In this case charge only moving in a straight line, okay, no problem. Second case charge is moving in a circle at the same place, right? But now what happening? Charge moving in a circle also, at the same time is going forward also. So what happens? Suppose charge start from this point, only circular path means start rotate and come back to what? Same point, right? But this charge is moving in a circle and going forward also. correct na? You start from here, you moving in a circle and going forward also. So what happens, you get a helical path like a spring, correct na? So combined effect will be into a helical path. Yes, what path charge particle will follow? Helical path, like this type. Yes or no? Correct? Yes, charge moving in the circle at the same times going forward also, right now. So when it's completed circle, it will not meet the same point, right? It will be little forward here, right? Just like a spring you have, right? So the combined effect in this cases will get what? A helical path. So this angle means a straight line, this angle means what? Circular path, and leaving these three, any other angle is what? Then it's a helical path it will follow, correct? Okay, now we are interested here knowing that what is the radius and what is the time period now. So look here, radius will be same, no problem. It's like mv, right? qb, mv by qb. V means what here? This component is trying to rotate in a circle, right? So you write radius is equal to what? Simply mv sine theta by what? qb. So v sine theta, that component is coming here, okay? Yes. You want to know time period? No change, because time does not depends on your velocity and radius. So it's same only 2 pi m by qb. No change, this is also no change. Okay. What new things comes here? They ask a question about pitch. Pitch of helix. It's a helical path, so it should have pitch. What's a pitch? Look here. Pitch definition is what? Distance moved forward in what? One rotation. Means your charge particle start from this point. When it complete one circle, it will what? At this point. So this distance is called what? Your helix. Oh, sorry, pitch. Okay. Once more, you are here at this point, and charge starting circular motion from here, and when it complete one circle is coming what? At this point. So this straightforward distance is called what? Your pitch. So I am writing few words here. So you can write by yourself that the forward distance moved in one rotation is called what? Your pitch. Forward distance moved in one rotation is called pitch. So how to answer pitch? Like, so you start from here and coming here, okay? That's called what? Pitch. So pitch is a distance only. Forward distance. Distance is what? Velocity into time. And what is forward velocity? Obviously what? V cos theta. So V cos theta, this is a velocity into time t. So this is called your pitch. Distance moved forward in one rotation. This is called your pitch. Okay. So here is the pitch. Okay. So you have learned that how a charge moves through a magnetic field, and now we'll see the application of this cyclotron. Then we'll do some numerical calculations on this. Okay, on these formulas. Okay. So we are talking about cyclotron, okay? So practical of the charge moving into a magnetic field. Okay. So let's see first what's the use of this cyclotron. What's the use? It is used to accelerate charges to very high energy, okay? Or potential you can say. So use of cyclotron is to accelerate a charged particle to what? Very high potential or what? Very high energy. Okay. Yes. Then principle of this working is what? Simple shortcut is theta is 90 degree. Means what? When charge is moving to a magnetic field and perpendicular to it, it moves in a circle. So what do you do? We keep moving this charge. So its radius keep increasing, its velocity keep increasing. So we can increase this what? Energy to what? Very high level. Okay. So what is simple working principle? That when a charge is made to rotate in a uniform magnetic field again and again, then what will happen is velocity will keep increasing, means energy keep increasing, right? Okay. How it looks in construction? You already seen in school. So two D's are there, two hollow D's are there. They place very close to each other like this. Okay. This is D1, D2. These are called D's. Okay. What are these? These are hollow, like semicircular metal loops are there. Okay. So they are hollow from inside, and they are connected to a very high frequency oscillator. Okay. So this is nothing but what? High frequency oscillator, means source of your AC current only. Okay. Yes. And magnetic field and electric field are provided. This is your magnetic field by some poles, suppose N and S. Okay. So magnetic field is produced perpendicular, electric field also perpendicular. Okay, this is your magnetic field direction. Okay. Then what we do? We put a charged particle here which you want to accelerate, say positive charge, some electron, some proton, something, okay. Then what happens? Suppose this is a positive charge you putting here. So at the start, what you do? These are connected in AC source, high frequency oscillator. So what happens? Suppose initially this D is negative, that D is what? Positively charged, right? Correct. Then what will happen? Your electron, your positive charge we are talking here, sorry. So this is attracted towards what? That D. So it moves in that D with some radius and what? Velocity, correct? Okay, look here, these are D's and this, there is a gap between these two D's. This gap, there is air only, right? Nothing is there. So it's called what? Air gap. This is very important, okay, air gap. So what happens? We put a charge in air gap here. So this D is negative, this D is positive. So this charge comes to this D enters in D's and it rotates inward with some radius and what? Velocity. So when it comes in air gap here, then what happens? The frequency gets changed, right? This D becomes positive and that D becomes what? Negative, right? So again positive charge are attracted in what? Next D's. So when it enters next D's, it moves with a bigger radius and what? Bigger velocity. Because in air gap it get what? Accelerated by electric field, right? So it moves with what? Bigger radius. Again it comes in air gap. Again what? Polarity get changed. Again get attracted. So it moves again with big radius in another D's, next D's, okay? Inside the D's moves with what? Same velocity and same radius. When it comes to air gap, then it get what? Accelerated, okay? So every time it comes to air gap, what happens? It get accelerated, so it moves in bigger and bigger radius, okay? Yes, like this, keep moving. So when its energy is sufficiently high, then what you do? We use something called deflecting plate. Deflecting plate we use to divert its direction, and we take it out and use what? Some nuclear reaction or whatever test we're doing, we can use for that, okay? So what we're doing? We're moving, keep rotating a charge, okay? Up to what? Very high velocity or very high energy using your cyclotron, right? So working is very simple. What happens? The oscillator is there, it can change the polarity of your D's, like, and we already discussed that. What we discussed that the time period, okay, of this rotation does not depends upon your velocity and radius. Is always what? Are constant, right? Now, yes. So even your radius changing, the time period will remain same only. So this charge keep moving up to then slowly what happens is velocities keep increasing, radius and velocity keep increasing. So when it's sufficiently high, then you can take it out. So we know the time period, this already we have learned, and radius already we have learned, mv upon qb, same thing only. Kinetic energy also we have learned, half q square b square r square upon m. So all these things are same as what? When theta is 90 degree, when charge is moving perpendicular to magnetic field. That's the working principle of just cyclotron only, okay? This is cyclotron, numericals are same only, this only, okay? Now, what is disadvantage or drawback of cyclotron? First thing, you cannot accelerate what? Neutral particle, right now? Cannot accelerate neutral particle. Like neutron, you cannot accelerate using a cyclotron because we need a charged particle here, okay? Yes. Then what it do? It cannot accelerate electron. Cannot accelerate electron. Why it cannot accelerate? Because electron has what? Very low mass. Due to what? Low mass, okay? Low mass particle it cannot accelerate. Electron is charged but very low mass, so it cannot accelerate what? Low mass. High mass particle like proton, alpha particle, deuteron, it can accelerate easily, right now. So these are the two drawbacks we have, okay? Okay. So mainly the working is what? That a charge moving perpendicular to magnetic field, it rotates in a circle, right now. So keep rotating and time period will not change. Small radius is covered, come this time, same time, or you have a big radius, then also time is what? Same. So time period remains what? Constant. Time period or frequency say, okay? Okay, numerical part is same only. So these already I have discussed these things with you. So some questions I have here to discuss. Let's see these questions, okay? Okay, let's see the question number 1. A proton, deuteron and alpha particle, okay? 3 particles are given, are accelerated by same potential. 3 particles are accelerated by what? Same potential. They enters in a transverse magnetic field, perpendicular magnetic field. Find the ratio of their radius. 3 particles you have. One is given proton, one is given deuteron, one is given what? Alpha particle. These are the 3 particles you have, and they are accelerated by what? Same potential. Potential is given same. I told you that radius four format you can write: velocity format, momentum, kinetic energy, and what? Potential. So here potential is given same, they are asking what's the radius ratio. So we know that this formula in terms of potential look like this way: 1 by b root 2 m v naught by q. Correct only? Yes, this formula in terms of potential I wrote, okay, in last time. So look here, what is given? Potential given same, 2 is same, charge is same. So radius depends upon what? Mass and charge, like this one, root proportional to what? Both. Correct? Okay, let's rise. So radius ratio of what? Proton to deuteron to what? Alpha we need. Correct? So depends on m by q. Suppose mass of proton is calling m and charge of proton calling q. Okay. Then second, deuteron. Deuteron means mass get double, mass is 2 and what? Charge is same. So it becomes 2m by q. Same your alpha particle. Alpha has 4 times mass of proton, so it becomes 4m, but charge is what? Double of the proton, or 2q, right? Okay. Yes. Charge is what? Double of the proton, mass is 4 times of proton. Okay, so this. So if you cancel them, all these numbers, what you are getting? Here you are getting 1, here you are getting root 2, and here you are also getting what? Root 2. Okay, so this is a ratio. So anything can be given, like sometime potential same, sometime what? Kinetic energy of same, sometime velocity same, sometime momentum same. Find the ratio of the radius, or radius is given equal, they ask ratio of these things. What is the ratio of the potential? They are accelerated, kinetic energy. Okay. Okay. Second question. They said an electron is moving with velocity of 10 power 6 parallel with a wire carrying current of 5 ampere, place a distance of 10 centimeter, find the magnetic force experienced by the electron. They are saying there is a wire, this is a wire carrying some current of 5 ampere, another electron is there and is moving parallel to this wire. At what distance? They said 10 centimeter. Okay, and velocity of this electron is given. They are asking what is the magnetic force experienced by this electron. Magnetic force is what? QVB, right? Sin theta. So charge we know, magnetic velocity we know, so what we need? Magnetic field. And where is the magnetic field? The magnetic field will be produced by this wire, correct na? So we want to know first what is the magnetic field produced by this wire at this point. So look here, grab this wire in your hand, right, thumb showing upward. So field is produced on this side, what? Inward field, right now? Yeah, this is an inward field produced by this wire. And how much strength, magnitude? Magnetic field due to wire is what? Mu naught I upon 2 pi r. Correct? This is a formula. Infinite long wire is there. What is the magnetic field produced by a wire? So this is the answer. Let's calculate how much it comes. Mu naught means what? 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. Current flowing is given 5 ampere by 2 pi into distance is given 10 centimeter. 10 centimeter is what? 0.1 meter, right? Okay, 2 pi goes 2 times, this becomes 10. This goes of 10 power minus 5 Tesla. This is a magnetic field produced by this wire at this point. So we want to know what is force experienced by charge. What is the answer? QVB. Q means 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Velocity they have given 10 power 6. And magnetic will be calculated at 10 power minus 5. So this becomes simply 1.6 into 10 power minus 18 Newton. This is a force experienced by this charged particle. Also they can ask you what is the direction here, in which direction this electron will move. Okay, this is electron. Correct. So we can use our hand rule. So I told you positive charge means you can write right hand, negative charge means what? Left hand. Okay. So see here, magnetic field is what? Inward. Correct? Inward. So this finger showing magnetic field inward. Velocity. Okay. Correct only. So thumb shows velocity, right? Thumb showing what? Velocity upward. Magnetic field is inward. So force is coming towards right. Okay. So this particle deflect away from this wire. Wire will repel this electron. Correct? Okay. This concept you can understand another way. This will come in next topic actually. You can write equivalent current. Suppose electron moving this, then current due to electron comes like downward, opposite direction. So we learned the concept in next chapter that if two parallel wires are there and current flowing in same direction, they will attract each other. Current flowing opposite, then they will repel each other. That way also you can answer the direction. But here we know hand rule simply. Once more, left hand for what? Electron. Field going inward, velocity upward. So thumb. So this finger, middle finger showing direction of force towards what? Left. So this will deflect away from this wire. Okay. Yes. Okay, this was the second question. Let's move to your third question. They said a beam of proton is moving with velocity given in a uniform magnetic field of 0.3 Tesla at an angle of 60 degree to magnetic field. Find the radius of the helix. So obviously angle given 60 degrees moves in a helical path. Directly they said helix also. So radius in a helical path we know is what? mv sine theta, correct na? By what? qb. Correct. So direct formula based, just you have to put values. So proton, given mass of proton you can write approximately 1.6 or 1.7 minus 10 power 27. Okay, velocity they have given 4 into 10 power 5, and angle is given what? 60 degrees. So sine 60 means what? You say what? Root 3 by 2 all divided by charge means 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Magnetic field strength is given 0.3. Correct. Okay, just you have to simplify this number. 1.6 you can cancel here, this 2 you can cancel it here. Okay, so what is remaining? Minus 19 goes up, become plus 19, plus 19 plus 5 is 24, so 10 power minus 3 is remaining. Okay, so root 2 root 3 by 0.3 into 10 power what? I forget what power. Minus 19 plus 5, so 24 goes here, 10 power minus 3 is remaining. Okay. Okay, so you can just simplify this number. That's what you can write this number, simplify and write this meter, or 10 power minus 3 you can write it mm. So 2 root 3 by 0.3 watt mm also you can write. Okay, just can simplify this number. Okay. Okay, so this we have done the force part. Okay, correct. So on a force on a moving charge through a magnetic field. Now after this what we'll do, we will see the force on a conductor, some conductor which is carrying current and placed inside a magnetic field, and how much force will be experienced by the conductor. Okay, so far we have learned about charge, that's force experienced by a charged particle moving through magnetic field mainly, then electric and magnetic both together, that's called Lorentz law, that also I discussed with you. Okay. Okay, so if you have any doubt, please put in comment. Thank you so much for watching.